X-Men Mutant Insurrection is a cooperative game for 1 to 6 players, where each player takes on the role of one of the many mutants from the Xavier Institute. The heroes must work together, deploying to locations around the world and using their mutant powers to complete missions until they reach the final showdown against a powerful villain. While the heroes struggle to bring down the villain, they must also deal with the dangers to humanity created by other mutants. If humanity perceives the threat of mutant kind to be too great, they will take harsh action against all mutants and cost the heroes the game. Each game of X-Men Mutant Insurrection begins with each player choosing a hero to play, placing their hero marker on the blackboard and placing their hero's power card and matching assist card in front of them. The players then prepare the school by placing the 3 school cards face up in the middle of the play area. Shuffle the mutant deck and bond deck separately and place them near the school. The mutant deck represents mutants who are still learning to control their powers, helping the heroes during the game, while the bond deck represents the shifting relationships between the members of the X-Men, for better or for worse. Next, separate the continent mission cards into the 5 continent decks. The continent decks provide the basic missions that allow the X-Men to assist humanity and be rewarded for their efforts. The players choose a number of continent decks based on the number of heroes playing. For example, in a 4-hero game, the players use 4 continent decks, placing the chosen decks near the school. Next, prepare the threat track and villain deck by placing them near the school. Threat represents humanity's growing fear of mutants, and the X-Men must keep it as low as possible. As threat increases, the game gets harder. If threat ever exceeds 15, the heroes lose the game. Players then choose a difficulty level, which determines the starting threat for the game. Starting the game with a higher threat level will increase the difficulty of the game. For normal difficulty, threat starts at 4. Players prepare the supply pool by placing the dice, damage tokens, training tokens, success tokens, and showdown tokens within reach of all players. Then, the players reveal missions by flipping mission cards face up based on the number of heroes playing. For example, during a 2 to 4 hero game, players choose 1 continent deck and flip its top card face up, while during a 5 or 6 hero game, the players will flip 2 missions face up. The game begins by choosing a plot card and placing it in full view of all the players with the plot side face up, resolving any setup text on that card. The plot presents the heroes with a series of challenges in addition to the normal work they must do to protect humanity. To win the game, the heroes must progress the plot to the showdown against the final villain, and the heroes must bring the plot to its conclusion in order to win the game. With that, the game is set up and the heroes can begin. X-Men Mutant Insurrection is played over a series of rounds. Each round has 4 phases: the deploy phase, the mission phase, the threat phase, and the regroup phase. During the deploy phase, the heroes deploy one at a time in any order from the blackboard to locations around the world, placing their hero marker next to any continent deck, school card, or mission card. If a hero deploys to a school card, the hero resolves the card's text immediately. School cards allow you to heal and to gain other benefits. If a hero deploys to a mission card, that hero will attempt that mission during the next phase. If the mission card is face down, the hero flips it face up. Keep in mind that a mission card cannot have more than 3 heroes deployed to it. Choosing the right mission to deploy to will take planning and knowledge of your hero's strengths and weaknesses. To help you determine which missions to deploy to, refer to the dice colors on your hero's power card. Red dice are best at missions that have a lot of fight requirements. Blue dice are best at satisfying teamwork requirements. And yellow dice are best against power requirements. After all heroes have deployed, the game proceeds to the mission phase. During the mission phase, the heroes attempt to complete the missions they have deployed to, one at a time, until those missions have been resolved. Each mission has rows of icons. Each row represents an objective, and each icon represents a requirement. To attempt missions, the heroes roll dice and try to cover all of the requirements printed on the mission with matching dice results. At the end of their attempt, the heroes either succeed and receive rewards or fail and suffer penalties. As the game progresses, many circumstances will raise threat. As threat increases, the heroes will have to deal with even greater dangers. To begin, the heroes count the number of exclamation point icons on face-up cards in play, raising the threat tracker by that number. Then the heroes flip new missions face-up based on the number of heroes playing. For example, during a 4-hero game, they choose one continent deck that has a face-down mission on top and flip that card face-up. If the new mission has a flip effect, the heroes resolve it immediately. The heroes then draw and resolve the top card of the appropriate threat deck. The threat tracker indicates which color threat deck to draw from. There are 2 kinds of threat cards: Sentinels and Events. Sentinels attach to existing missions to make those missions harder and more dangerous. Events punish the heroes or add extra missions, such as purple villain missions that cover other missions in order to delay the hero's progress. After resolving the threat card, the game proceeds to the regroup phase. During the regroup phase, heroes on school cards return their hero markers to the Blackbird. If any hero was assisted during a mission attempt, they return the assisting hero's assist card to that hero. Any cards that were exhausted during the round are readied. If the heroes have any mutant cards, they may exchange these cards with the school and with each other. If a hero was knocked out, that player replaces the knocked out hero with a new hero. During the following gameplay example, Storm and Cyclops are attempting the Avalanche mission. Each hero at a mission will get a chance to attempt that mission, but they do so one at a time. The Storm and Cyclops players decide that Storm should attempt the mission first. Because Storm is currently taking her turn, she is considered the active hero. As the active hero, Storm must decide whether to attempt the mission alone or to be assisted. If a hero wishes to be assisted, another hero at that mission may give their assist card to the active hero. The players decide that Cyclops should assist Storm during this attempt. Next, Storm gathers her dice pool. If she was attempting the mission alone, she would gather the dice shown on her power card and her own assist card. However, because Cyclops is assisting her, Storm uses Cyclops' assist card instead of her own. Storm collects 1 red die, 2 yellow dice, and 3 blue dice and rolls them. Storm rolls a 1 fight, a 2 fight, and 4 teamwork results. The active hero has 2 rerolls to spend to get better results. Their goal is to match as many requirement icons as possible. Storm decides to keep the 2 fight result and 2 of the teamwork results. She rerolls the other 3 dice for her first reroll. Storm's first reroll yields a 1 fight result and 2 villainy results. She decides to reroll all of those results, but because they include a villainy result, she must resolve the villainy effect printed on the mission card. Avalanche has a villainy effect that causes Storm to suffer 2 damage, placing 2 damage tokens next to her power card. Storm then uses her second reroll, gaining 2 1-fight results and 1 2-fight result. With no more rerolls available to her, Storm uses her abilities. Her power card ability turns one of her 1-fight results into a power result. Cyclops' assist ability changes 1 teamwork result to a 2-fight result. Storm cannot use the ability on her own assist card. Assist card abilities can only benefit other heroes. After using her 2 rerolls and her abilities, Storm uses her dice to complete the mission's objectives. To complete an objective, the active hero must satisfy all of that objective's requirements. If they do, they place a success token over that objective. Each requirement on the mission has a color that matches a section of the threat track. Green requirements are basic requirements and must always be satisfied. Yellow requirements must be satisfied if the threat tracker is in the yellow or red section of the threat track. And red requirements must be satisfied if the threat tracker is in the red section of the threat track. Objectives can be completed in any order unless the mission has an order arrow, which forces the heroes to complete the objectives in order from top to bottom. There are 3 types of basic requirements: power, teamwork, and fight. To satisfy fight requirements, the number of the fight result must equal or exceed the number on the fight requirement. Fight results can be combined to satisfy a higher fight requirement. All of the requirements on the Avalanche mission are green, so Storm must satisfy all of them. She combines 2 of her 2 fight results, spending them along with a power result and a teamwork result to complete the 3rd objective of the mission. Storm then spends a 1 fight result and a 2 fight result and suffers 1 damage to complete the 1st objective, placing a success token over it. Since Storm did not complete all of the objectives on the Avalanche mission, the next hero at the mission, in this case Cyclops, becomes the active hero and must attempt to complete the mission. Cyclops collects all the dice for his pool and rolls his dice, easily completing the final objective. After all heroes at a mission have been the active hero and have attempted to complete the mission, they check to see if they have succeeded or failed. If all of the mission's objectives are completed, the heroes resolve the success effect, which provides numerous rewards. If the heroes have not completed all of the objectives, they must resolve the failure effect, which punishes them with a variety of penalties. After resolving the success or failure effect of the mission, the heroes return their hero markers to the Blackbird. Failed missions remain in play, and the heroes can deploy to those missions again in a future round to finish them. Successfully completed missions are placed off to the side. When the heroes succeed or fail at a mission, they receive rewards or penalties which can help or hinder during later rounds. The X-Men do not only fight villainous mutants, they rescue and teach young mutants who are still learning to control their powers. These mutant cards provide a variety of useful abilities. During the regroup phase, heroes may take or leave mutants at the school, and they can swap mutants with each other. Each hero can have only 1 mutant card. If they receive another, they must send one of them back to the school. The X-Men's relationships with each other are always shifting. These relationships are represented by bonds. When a hero gains a bond, they draw a bond card from the bottom of the bond deck and search the deck for the other card with the same name and number, giving it to another hero of their choice. Bonds between heroes come with a powerful ability, such as letting those heroes roll additional dice during a mission if they are deployed together. However, broken bonds are detrimental and can hinder the hero's ability to successfully complete a mission. When a bond is broken, the bonded heroes flip their bond cards to the negative side. If the heroes do not have a positive bond to flip, they must gain a new negative bond. In order to prepare themselves for the forces they must oppose, the X-Men undergo extensive training and preparation, gaining training tokens that can be used during missions. When a hero is attempting a mission, they may spend their training token as a die showing the same icon. Each hero can have 1 training token. If they gain another, they must discard one. During the threat phase, the danger to mutants grows and new challenges arise for the X-Men to face. First, the heroes must raise threat. During her turn, Armor was not able to complete the Young Mutant mission. Since the Young Mutant mission is the only card in play with an exclamation point icon, the heroes raise threat by 1, moving the threat tracker up 1 space. Next, the heroes must flip 1 face-down mission card face-up because they are playing with 4 heroes. They decide to flip the top card of the South America continent deck, revealing the Rock Slide mission. The Rock Slide mission has a flip effect. In this case, since the heroes have already completed the Avalanche mission, they get to reduce threat by 1. Lastly, the heroes draw 1 threat card from the threat deck, indicated by the threat tracker. In this case, threat is at 4, so the heroes draw from the green threat deck. The heroes draw a Sentinel whose target is most objectives. The Young Mutant mission has the most objectives, so the heroes must attach the Sentinel to that mission. While a Sentinel is attached to a mission, the mission cannot be completed until the Sentinel has been defeated. Each Sentinel has an objective that functions like the objectives on missions. When a hero completes the Sentinel's objective, they immediately discard the Sentinel. Any Sentinel still attached to missions during future threat phases will raise threat. Each mission can have only 1 Sentinel attached. If all face-up missions already have a Sentinel attached, the new Sentinel is discarded, and the heroes raise threat by 1. Each game of X-Men Mutant Insurrection follows a story. Each story begins on the chosen plot card, which places briefing cards or story missions into play. Story missions are special missions that represent important moments in the plot, like confronting a villain or searching for a lost ally. By completing story missions, the heroes advance the storyline. For example, in the Brotherhood of Mutants story, The plot starts with the Xavier's Dream Briefing card, which explains the mission's special rules and a goal that the heroes must achieve. Xavier's Dream instructs the heroes that, in order to prove mutant kind's helpfulness, they must complete a number of missions equal to the number of heroes playing, +2. After completing all of the required missions, the heroes flip the briefing card to reveal their first story mission, a battle against Magneto. The heroes can deploy to Magneto like any other mission. If the heroes are successful in their battle against Magneto, they will put the San Marco mission into play. If the heroes are able to complete the San Marco mission, they will trigger the Brotherhood Showdown. The Showdown is the climactic battle against the plot's main villain. Each showdown is a set of 2 or more showdown missions. If the heroes can complete each showdown mission, they win the game. To set up the showdown, the heroes begin by setting aside all of the continent decks, school cards, sentinels, and story cards. Then, the heroes flip the plot card and all cards that were placed under the plot during play. Showdown rounds are played like normal rounds with a few changes. The heroes can only deploy to showdown missions. When they complete an objective on a showdown mission, they place the success token below the card instead of on top of the completed objective. This means the heroes can repeatedly complete the same objective on a showdown mission. To complete a showdown mission, the heroes must accumulate enough success tokens below it. For example, this Brotherhood Showdown mission requires success tokens equal to the number of heroes playing, -1. During the threat phase, the heroes do not raise threat or draw threat cards. Instead, the showdown's villain attacks all of the heroes. The showdown card on the left has an attack value. When the villain attacks, each hero suffers damage equal to that value. Then, if any showdown cards have threat effects, the heroes must resolve each threat effect. The heroes can ignore threat effects on completed showdown cards, but they never ignore the showdown's attack. Finally, knocked out heroes cannot be replaced during the showdown. If all of the heroes in the showdown are knocked out, the heroes lose the game. Each hero's power card shows that hero's health value. When a hero has damage tokens equal to their health, they are knocked out. When a hero is knocked out, the heroes raise threat by 1. If the hero is attempting a mission as the active hero, their turn as active hero immediately ends and they discard all of their mutant and bond cards, as well as any damage and training tokens. During the next regroup phase, the player who is controlling the knocked out hero may choose a new hero to play. Keep in mind, players cannot choose a new hero during the showdown. Across the globe, crisis follows crisis, and even greater threats brood in the minds of villains eager to shape the world to their whims. Whether you're infiltrating the elite society known as the Hellfire Club, investigating the mysterious happenings on the island of Krakoa, or taking on Magneto and the Brotherhood of Mutants, X-Men Mutant Insurrection brings some of the greatest stories in comics straight to your tabletop.